Hi there, it's race day on Friday and I want to use my 201 again, but unfortunately it's still playing up. The back end of the car is still too tight. And so this video, we're going to do a full tear down, figure out what's up and get it fixed. Now, on the way through, I'm going to be replacing the rear hubs. I'm currently running the 1 degree extra toe-in rear hubs, alloy ones from Tamiya. And I've got a set of 0 degree ones from an X301. That's what I had been running, but I broke one of those at work. I broke one of those at Northampton. So at the moment, I'm running 4 degrees of toe from the rear arm hangers and an extra 1 degree. So I'm running 5 degrees total rear toe, and that's more than I need. Swap those in, I'll get us back to 4, and that's a sensible place to be. What I really want to show you is how sticky the gearbox is, and that's why we're going to pull all of that apart and figure out what's going on. So as soon as we put any amount of transmission through, you can see it's noisy. It's noisy. It shouldn't be that noisy at low throttle. When we pick up the throttle, it's better. It's fine, but there's still something kind of catching on it. Maybe we've broken a tooth. If I just make sure we've got flatter arms. That very initial pickup is really grindy. As soon as I get through it, and I don't know whether the movement of the, I think I know what it might be. I was going to say, I don't know whether the movement of the arms is to do with the torque and the lumpiness coming through the gearbox. I have an idea. We could have a problem with the bearings themselves and the rear axles. There's been a lot of carpet up from our local club. We've got new carpet and it's currently fluffing up a lot. So it could be that I've blown a bearing. We'll find that out. It could be that there's a pin loose in one of the UJs. Could be that. It could be something in the gearbox more generally. And so I'll kind of blow things apart from the wheels first, see if we can find out that those are running freely or not. But one thing someone suggested to me is take the motor, take the pinion off the motor, see whether or not the gearbox is free at that point. And I guess I can see whether the motor's free at that same point. So we'll start there. Now I have had the wheels off. They did seem entirely fine. I could not see any evidence that we'd picked up too much air in amongst these bearings. But that's entirely possible. I'll just move that, you can see. So this is the Tamiya alloy 1 degree extra toe. I don't believe there's any problem there, but we'll consider it. So, first of all, get this gearbox cover off. I'm expecting to take the entire gearbox out to investigate, but we'll go step by step and see. If something jumps to us before that point, then maybe we can save some disassembly. So I just run the gearbox there. Let's pull the pinion first. And apologies if the fan is loud over my microphone. Let's just run the motor, see whether the motor's okay. It's not the motor. Let's just pop a wheel on. So this is the gearbox, but without the motor attached. And so we're hoping this is going to be fairly free through the entirety of the gearbox. I guess I'll hold the one. I mean, it feels smooth enough, to be honest. Is it as much as we've got a bad tooth on the spur gear? It's run indoors on carpet at the point that we had any trouble kick up, so I'm not expecting to find Astro or anything. Just wondering there. No, I think that's okay. This is Editor Andy. If you look closely, you can see the movement of the spur gear does not match the movement of the wheel. Here, if I don't hold the left hex but rotate the right wheel, we alternate between rotating the left hex and rotating the spur gear. So there's something playing up in the diff about the transfer of that torque. I think we disassemble this side and see where we're at. What I want to check is that the UJs themselves haven't got any additional play in them. Hub off. I want to change the hub anyway. You can see it's not particularly clean. You can see on the shock as well, for that matter. I'm confident that is really free. Really, really free. We are switching to the X301 hubs anyway. These are the carbon reinforced ones. So carbon reinforced E-parts 54443. The problem I'd had was it had blown one of the these out, and I'd heard the thing to do for that was wherever you put the ball in, put some extra grub screws either side because that strengthens those holes. That's quite telling. If you look through here at the diff, look at the movement of that drive cup. We'll stop there and we'll do the other side. I'm guessing we'll end up pulling the gearbox and then trying the gearbox on its own. You may be wondering why we've got a wide shot when I'm talking about a close-up of the gearbox. Now you can see I've got the action cam right in front of my face there. What you can't quite see is it's not actually recording. So we're going to cut to a bit later on where I've spotted my error, but the gearbox is a bit more disassembled than it is now. So I haven't had any of that recording, so let me just show you. This is the gearbox half stripped down. I found the fault. The fault is if I just push on these drive cups, you can see like quite a lot of movement inside. I mean, this one looks horrific. Now it's moving without moving the other drive cup. So I'm expecting, I can. We've broken the diff. Is that what happened? This isn't a 201 gearbox. This is actually someone's made a molding to take the wider gear diff from some of the other Tamiya cars. So that's what's going on with this. But let's have a look in here. How bad is the diff? How bad is the diff bearings? You can see here, look, it looks like a standard Tamiya diff, but it's so where's the play? Play is in the diff itself. That is terrible. Why is that like it is? The bearings themselves are fine. Don't think the bearings will go over the drive cups. Right, opening the diff up. So you can see the massive play in the diff out drive right here. I took it apart to clean up everything, take the oil bit out, rebuild that side of the diff entirely, and then you see the problem is just as bad as it ever was, perhaps even worse. And from there, yeah, it's just like I've got loads of play. I can see here actually the collar is moving around. So I think the bushing that sits inside this alloy piece, or the alloy piece itself, that's worn. And I'm guessing the same is true on the other side. All right, first protocol, we'll get my ball diff. No, I hadn't been using it because I think that's actually excessively worn too. I have a feeling with this gearbox there's something like there's a problem on the teeth on this diff, but I don't feel it. I don't see anything obvious there. Let's transpose the bits across. Yeah, there is a, see just there, there is a biting point that one of the teeth is not happy. Yeah, just there. See if we can figure that out. Fine. I just used my same scraper and just cleaned out the grooves. I couldn't obviously see what it was, but you can see now it's spinning quite happily. It was on, I think it was that bit there, which is, given we've just had that, I'm just going to go through all the teeth and just give them a quick clean up. So really briefly, before I actually put the motor back in and just see the difference in terms of like how much more freely this runs. So I can spin that and we get some amount of spin. So I'm going to put the motor back in, fire it up, and well, we already know the answer. How interesting. So there you go. I've got some tidy up to do, but the long and short of it is having a bunch of play in your diffs. In fact, that one's not so bad. This one here, that much play in the diff outdrive is enough to cause you plenty of trouble. We'll refresh it all, and I'd like to build it up with the gear diff again. I don't know whether there's too much play in these 3D printed now. I will have to have a proper play with that, see what the bearings play in there. So they feel like they're seated really well. You heard it snap in. So yes, so we switch back to the standard Tamiya ball diff. It probably wants a rebuild, but I'm running it on Friday, so I haven't got time for that. I haven't got time to do it. I'll get on and get my gear diff rebuilt, new outdrives. I mean, I need new outdrives if nothing else. I think the metal cover, probably just get a new rear diff, to be honest. And then we can build it back up with the gear diff. Super. Hope it's been something to watch. It's going to take me a while to edit it because I've been filming far too long now. But thanks again for watching, and join me again soon.